Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and today we're going to be talking about review of integers a little bit more. I'd like to start off by talking about number systems. There are three number systems that you need to be aware of at the moment. The first one is the rational numbers. The second one is the whole numbers. And the third one are the integers. Now, when I say number system, perhaps another word for that to make more sense to you guys is a number family or a number group, okay? So it is a group of numbers, kind of like different groups of kids in the school. We have grade 9s, we have grade 10s, we have grade 11s, right? So we have different groups of numbers. So what is a rational number? Anything that can be expressed as a fraction. So a rational number is anything that can be expressed as a fraction. What's a whole number? A whole number is anything like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So no decimals. What's an integer? An integer is any number that's signed and a whole number. So -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. No decimals. So notice there's no decimals here. I want to say no fractions too, but the problem with that is sometimes a fraction can reduce down to a whole number or an integer, right? -6 divided by 3. The answer is -2, so that's definitely an integer, even though I could write it as a fraction. This is not an integer though. -1 over 3, because that doesn't work out to a nice signed whole number. That works out to -0.33333333 as a decimal. Do you see the difference? A rational number is anything that can be represented as a fraction. So this includes decimals. Okay? So 4 is a rational number, a whole number, and integer. It's all three. -4 is only an integer and a rational number. It's not a whole number because it's negative. And 1/3 is a rational number. It's not a whole number and it's not an integer. And remember, that is represented by 0.33333 repeating. Now, you need to learn these. You need to memorize them, you need to go over them, and you need to know them. I will give you a test question or a quiz question that says, in your own words, what's a rational number? What's a whole number? What's the difference? You need to know these, so go over them. Numbers such as 6 and -3 are called integers. An integer is any number from this set. Now, do you see the ... on either side? That means that the pattern continues. So -5, -6, -7, -8, -9, -10, all the way down to -infinity. Now, -infinity is not a number, but it's a direction. You keep going larger and larger negatively. This pattern, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way up to positive infinity. Now again, positive infinity is not a number. It's a direction. 0. 0 is neither positive nor negative. Be careful of that. 0 is neither positive nor negative. However, we do complicate things by saying that it's non-negative. Okay? It's a non-negative number. So here's 0. Here's all your positive integers on the right-hand side of 0. Here's all your negative integers on the left-hand side of 0. Example 1, 8 plus 17. So you're going to start at positive 8, and you're going to add 17 more, positive. So if I start with positive and I add more positive, my answer must be positive. There's no other way around it. And it's going to be starting at 8 and going 17 more spaces this way. It's going to be 25. This next one. In class, I started teaching you to rewrite this. When you have a positive and a negative beside each other, you need to rewrite it. And then say to yourself, it's -7. So you're starting at -7. And then you add 12 more negative to it. So if I start with negative and I move to the negative, my answer is going to be negative. And it's -19 because I started with -7 and I moved 12 more negative. This is -4. And then I add 12 positive. Well, there's more positive here than negative, isn't there? 12 is bigger than 4. So my answer is going to be positive. We know that. And it's going to be positive 8. Excellent. So, adding and subtracting integers. The rules for adding and subtracting integers: do not leave two signs side by side. Rewrite it. That's what I've been yelling at you, saying rewrite it, rewrite it. If you have a positive and a positive, or a negative and a negative beside each other, replace it with a positive. If you have a positive and negative, or a negative and a positive, replace it with a negative. That's what I've been saying. Rewrite it. And notice when you started doing that, our numbers of people getting it correct went up. So do this. Don't skimp out. Flip over. So we have a number of examples here for you to do. We've done a whole bunch of examples already yesterday. Let's take a look at how I would do this. I've got -23. Oops, sorry. I've got -23. I'm adding positive 30 to it. So where are there more? The positives. My answer must be positive. And it's going to be 7. I'm going to skip down to D. I start with a -7, and I need to rewrite it. So it becomes, a positive and a negative becomes negative. By the way, that's my 7. It's a 7 with a line through it, so it's -7. Take away 10 more, or 10 more negatives. So the answer is definitely going to be negative, and it's 17. Last one I'll do with you is this one. So looking at it, it's -17, -20, -4. Okay, so negative, negative, negative. The answer is obviously going to be negative. And I'm going to do this in an order that works for me. -17 take away 4 is -21. Take away 20 more is -41. That might take you a little bit longer, but you should get to the same place. I would like you now to finish this page. I would like you to check everything that you do on this page using an app. I want you to go online and look for Photomath. Many of you have it already. It's a great program. I put it on my phone. I had the kids at school put it on their phone. It looks like this. So you load it up. You get to go over top of an equation that you're doing. So maybe this big long one here. Okay, oh, you can't really see. Maybe if I move it up. Can you see now? There you go. You tap the button. It gives you -22, -8. It's going to become 30. Show the solving steps. Notice it shows you that the two negatives became a positive. The solution's still 30. We can ask it to show us explain how. Oh, that costs money. Don't do the explain how. But we can ask it for the next step. And there you go. This is just getting confusing because explain steps. There you go. So I asked it to explain steps, and it says when there's a negative in front of an expression in parentheses, change the sign of each term. So they are explaining that the negative times the negative became the positive. And then you're all set to do the next question. So you're going to use this to check your answers. You're not going to use this to do your answers, because when I give you a test or a quiz, you got to be able to do it on your own. But Photomath app is da bomb. It is coolio, okay? So download it, use it to check all of these questions as you go along. Then I want you to work on the next page, which is all operations of integers. Notice that there's blanks here. You can use Photomath, or you can pop over and the answers are on the back. It's your choice. We'll be back with another video in a little bit where we do multiplying and dividing integers and exponents.